Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Listrak webinar series. In this month's webinar, we will be discussing how to acquire and reach new contacts. My name is Jake Pizzini, VP of Strategy and Analytics, and I am so excited to be joined by Patrick Murray, our Director of Strategy. Hi, Pat.
Hey, Jake.
Just to give a little background on Listrak, at Listrak, we are in the business of delivering results. We have over 1,000 retailers, and we provide best-in-class cross-channel, behavioral, and predictive marketing strategies and solutions that drive customer engagement, revenue, and loyalty. Here's a look at some of our most famous brands. Here at Listrak, we pride ourselves in our attention to detail and overall client satisfaction. We've actually earned an industry-leading Net Promoter Score of 82, outpacing other marketing technology providers. All right, now on to how to acquire and reach new contacts. The first thing we'd like to start off here is actually with an e-commerce acquisition diagnostic assessment. Let's see where you stack up. So if you could take a couple minutes here, I'll talk through it, and we're on a webinar, so I'll go a little slow so you can get it. But in overall with acquisition, you really want to have a floor for, an understanding and a base for just how well are you doing. So one of the first things is how many of the following channels are you actively marketing, testing, and investing? So here we have such things as paid search, app push, display, Google Shopping, email. So go through and check each one that you have and give yourself a point for each. Then we want to know how many of the following acquisition constructs do you have? So do you have a website footer? Do you force subscribe people to your marketing lists when they check out? Do you have an entry pop-up, etc.? Every single one of these will gain you a point as well. Next, is your marketing budget increasing? You can get 5 points. Flat, we'll just keep it even, or decreasing, you subtract 5. So now if you would go through here and go through each of these and tally your score, then actually there's a continuation. There are some more questions. So the question of, does your website have an offer for new customers? Does it have $1 off, gift with purchase, % off, etc.? We then go into your website traffic. Is it increasing? Is it flat? Or is it decreasing year over year? Then we look into your email list, increasing, flat, or decreasing. Your SMS list, increasing, flat, or decreasing. And hey, if you have a pop-up, some detail on it. Does it have your brand colors? Is there a logo present? Does it not have imagery? Is it to the point? So then when you go through and you tally up your score for all of these different aspects, see where you land. If you land at 55, 60 plus, you're really doing great. If you're under 25, you got lots of opportunity. If you're in between, there's still a lot of great things for you to learn. So what's really going to be fun today is we're going to go through a few of these techniques and tactics and talk about how they can apply and help you grow your business. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Pat, our Director of Strategy, and he'll start walking you through.
Thanks, Jake. So as we get started talking about how to optimize acquisition, there are 5 key points that we want to focus on. First and foremost, you have to continually drive new traffic to your website. As you want to grow the list of addressable contacts that you can then remarket to, you have to continue to drive new traffic and cannot just rely on the traffic coming to your site through your email or SMS channel. So constantly test, iterate, and optimize within every marketing channel to drive net new users to your site. Once those new users get to your site, you want to have ample opportunity for them to engage with your site and subscribe to either email or SMS or both. Getting traffic to the site is expensive. So when it gets there, you want to maximize that investment by capturing their contact information so that you can remarket to them. Business growth is difficult without investment growth. In order to get new users to your site, you will have to invest in acquisition channels, search, social, top of funnel type of campaigns to help drive awareness and drive people to your site.
That's such a great point, Pat. A lot of people say the rising tide raises all boats, right? You need to be doing this all over the place. Right now, it's a lot of live selling and interactive and TikTok and influencers and creators and content creators, things like that. You're not going to be able to grow the business doing the same things. You need to drive that incremental traffic to be able to reach. So that is a really great point, Pat.
Thanks, Jake. And then when those users are getting there, that they are looking for some value-based interaction. So the incentive to sign up for your email program or your SMS program is going to make a big difference in how successful those campaigns are going to be. So make sure that you are using some sort of incentive and that the language, the copy, the creative, that user experience is consistent with either the campaigns that you were using in those emerging channels to help drive new traffic, or the overall site experience itself.
Yeah, I mean, all of us are consumers too, right? And when we go somewhere, we get to a new brand, we're looking for something, we got a new type of product that we really want. It's like, hey, can I save $5, $10, a percent off? That's really what's going to put you over the edge versus the competitors.
And I think people are just expecting it now too, right?
100%.
And the fifth point to focus on is remember to embrace your brand image and brand voice from the start. As those contacts and visitors are coming to your site, yes, there should be some value-based incentive for them to engage with, but the look and feel of the pop-up or any type of acquisition campaign should embrace your brand voice right from the start. So keeping in mind those 5 key focus areas, we can jump right into what those tactics will look like when that traffic gets to your site. So some table stakes acquisition campaigns. Right? The entry pop-up, again, visitors are expecting some sort of entry modal, preferably with an incentive. But in the example that you can see here, the offer is predominantly displayed in the headline. There's great lifestyle imagery. The pop-up colors, are on brand. They match the retailer site, and the user would be expecting to see this type of experience when they land on the site. The benchmark submission rate for that entry pop-up is somewhere between 3 to 4%, right? Which means 96 to 97% of the visitors to the site that engage with that pop-up or see that pop-up do not sign up from it. Right? So 3 to 4% is a very good submission rate. But if that is all you are doing, you are missing out on a vast majority of context to acquire. The one on the right, the persistent button, would be the continuation of that experience from the entry pop-up. So as traffic continues to get further down that funnel and people who ignored the entry modal, that 96, 97% of the traffic coming to the site, starts to increase, that intent to purchase starts to increase, and now they want to take advantage of the offer that they were presented with on entry. So clicking that persistent button can re-trigger the entry modal when the user is ready to sign up, and then you'll see an incremental acquisition lift by getting around 1% of the people that engage with that button to sign up. And then a few others, the exit intent pop-up, again, very common as traffic is getting deeper in the funnel as they go to exit the site, taking another effort to get them to subscribe and take advantage of the offer as they go to leave the site. So changing the copy around, creating some urgency, last chance to save 15%, or don't go without getting the 15%. Some basic copy, acknowledging the fact that you're aware these people were leaving the site. The countdown timer is another great way to create some urgency around this offer is not going to be around forever, so take advantage of it today. And here you see, similar to the entry modal, a 5, maybe 6% submission rate here, because you're going to have a much more engaged, smaller audience than that entry modal, and you'll see another incremental acquisition point here.
Yeah, that's a great point, Pat. And then one of the cool things is with the timer, it really does, to your point, create that urgency. I actually like to say that it's a little bit of fake news. Nothing will happen when it gets to 0. Someone could still sign up, but that urgency, it's like, oh, let me act now. So any time that we can put that in and create urgency out of the intent, really does work well. And to your point, that shines through in the benchmark submission rate.
Yeah, it absolutely does. As you can see on the right-hand side too, the website footer. This is, pretty common place to see in every retailer's website. But one of the things that I want to point out is that don't forget about the SMS acquisition. Having an email subscription point in the footer has been around, since websites have been up and e-commerce has been live. With the rise of the SMS channel, keeping that front and center and getting people to engage in one or both channels that they prefer is going to be vital to the success of these programs. Another area where you would think, it was commonplace, but a number of people, missed the boat. Having an email and SMS opt-in at checkout. People are inclined to provide their, email and mobile numbers. Having a checkbox, giving them an opportunity to subscribe to both channels in the checkout process will drive a significant number of subscriptions for you. And then in terms of sweepstakes, if you're running any kind of sweepstakes to drive, accelerate some sort of promotion on your site, in your stores, using this as an opportunity to get contacts subscribed to both email and SMS is another great way to help grow your list. Product alerts, on the product page when an item is out of stock, or if you launch a new product that's coming soon, having a subscription point on that product page is another great way to help increase acquisition, to drive awareness around a specific product, right? So if a product is out of stock and you want to notify people when it will be back in stock, having a subscription form on that PDP is a great way to do that. It will help build your marketing list, as well as drive awareness for those products when they come back in stock or are available to purchase. On the SMS side, there's no greater pool of prospects to grow your SMS list than your existing email list. So making sure that you take advantage of that addressable audience by promoting your SMS program to your email contacts is just, a no-brainer. So as you can see in this example, just above the footer, there's an icon with a text, a keyword to the short code to get opted into the SMS program. And that would be an area where I keep, in every broadcast message and behavioral-based triggered message, cross, channel promotions there to help drive engagement in SMS.
A lot of great examples, Pat. And, I always like to give the analogy. It's like when you have a mouse in the house, all you want to do is catch the mouse. You'll put a trap everywhere with all different sorts of things until you catch it, right? Same thing here with acquisition on your website. To your point, Pat, you're going to have 97% of people that have come to the website and you don't know who they are, right? But you paid for them to come. So when you put all these together, it can really work in unison and increase the overall acquisition rate substantially. And then that's going to just flow through. I mean, what we found, and one of the things Patrick was talking about email and SMS and having both and getting that cross-pollination. We know that the lifetime value of contacts that are in multiple channels is usually 30% higher than when they're only in one. So everything you can do to get people to sign up, it's imperative for your business.
Now we have some examples of like next level type of engagement and interactivity within the entry modals in the pop-up experience. With Listrak's Growth Accelerator platform, we're able to create and deploy some innovative experiences that have really helped accelerate that acquisition rate. Adding some level of gamification or interactivity within the pop-up experience has really boosted subscription rates substantially. In some cases, 40 to 50% increase over your standard entry modal. Here's another example of some interactive modals. In this case, we have two different versions of a spinning wheel that users can engage with. They click spin, it will land on the incentive that's been predetermined by the retailer, and then move to the email sign up form in order to deliver that coupon code and complete the subscription. Here's an example of that cross-pollination again, right? With two-step email plus SMS acquisition on a mobile device. First step, asking for email, presenting them with the incentive, get 15% off when you sign up. And then when they click activate offer, we deliver that coupon code right there. We do what it said it was going to do on the first step and give them that 15% off their order. And then they have an opportunity to get additional incentives and offers and be notified of new product launches, et cetera, when they sign up for mobile alerts. So that one touch, click, tap to join pop-up will open the messaging app on that mobile phone, pre-populate the appropriate keyword and short code to get that user subscribed to SMS with just 2 clicks. This is a great example of how you can personalize the entry modal experience based on inbound traffic sources. A number of different retailers are invested in various channels, different offers and different incentives in each channel. In this particular example, This client has a specific offer for their product listing ads and Google Shopping, so that when contacts come into their website through one of those campaigns, they want to just display a free shipping on orders over $50, which is essentially their site-wide evergreen promo. So they did not want to extend an additional deeper discount for traffic that was coming in through those channels. So we have two examples here where we can identify the inbound traffic source, serve up one experience for that audience, and then all of the others, or a different type of traffic source would see their 20% off for new email acquisition.
Thank you for walking through all of that, Pat. Now, one of the big questions that we get a lot is, hey, what is this acquisition impact going to have on SEO? So I thought I'd just take a few minutes and talk about it a little bit with you. In SEO, there's a lot of things that go into the rankings, right? It needs to be mobile friendly, safe to browse. You guys remember, I don't know, 5-10 years ago when not everything was HTTPS, now it all is, right? But then there's those core web vitals at the bottom, the LCP, the FID, and the CLS. So I'm gonna talk about those for a moment here too, right? So largest contentful paint is how quickly does a user perceive your page to load. You can go to web.dev/vitals. You can look at this, type in your website, it'll look mobile and desktop and give it to you. First, input delay, how long does it take for your page to respond to the user? And cumulative layout shift, how much do the elements on your page move along, right? So how quickly a user perceives your page to load, very important, right? But how long does it take your page to respond to an engagement, or how long does it take for elements to move? Your pop-up isn't actually impacting anything like that. Most pop-ups actually don't even impact how long it takes the page to load. They load asynchronously, which is after everything else has loaded. But even so, that's usually not a big piece of it, right? But that's just one piece of the on-site thing. And if you go into web.dev core vitals and you're looking at it, you could type in real big brands, Walmart, Amazon, Target, they're all going to rank low too. But when you type things in, they're number one in SEO, right? So SEO very much has to do with the content on your page. And then there's all these other things that you want to continually improve the experience. But your pop-up is not the end all be all. And we actually have a quote from Google about this, right? So this is straight from Google. What impact, are these updates going to have, and all these pieces? The one big item that stands out is that Google will still rank the most relevant content despite how poorly it might do in its core web vital scores, right? The actual content is king. How good is your page for what someone was actually looking for, okay? That is the thing that matters the most. I've seen many times where people take away their acquisition efforts and say, oh, it's affecting SEO. Track it for a couple months. Nothing improved in SEO, but what we can tell you is their acquisition went down 80, 90, 100%, right? So you just have to, everything works together. Content is the absolute key, but your acquisition stuff, you can't turn it off. With more privacy happening now and the stress on zero-party data and removing of cookies, you need to be able to get people's email address and phone number and start interacting with them. So they're opting into your actual marketing, right? So that is the absolute key, is that when people come to the site, you have to be able to get them. And that's the way you get them. We've all been shopping. We all expect it. We know it's there. It's not a bad experience. So what do you have to do? Do not panic. Don't go crazy. There's Google updates every year. More and more privacy comes out. Just continue to optimize your website for users and give them the experience they want. Pat brought it up a few times. You go and you now expect to be able to get an offer and expect to see relevant content pop to you that'll help you on your experience, right? So when you get these opted-in contacts, then you can market to them. It's kind of like a physics class, right? With Isaac Newton, an equal and opposite reaction. If someone is interacting with your site, you want to interact with them in an equal and opposite way. If they're looking at a product, show them other products that are like it, what other people used to do, other content that can help them, right? The way for you to be able to do that is to have their email address, know their devices, have their phone number, so that when they're searching, you can provide them more content. And then when you do that back and forth, you'll get more orders. So definitely use Core Web Vitals, definitely look at it, always improve the speed of your website. but understand that acquisition is paramount to your success as a business, and your acquisition efforts are not hampering your SEO the way everyone wants you to believe.
Thanks, Jake. So what do we do once we capture all of these new subscribers? Our list is growing. How do we assess the health of our marketing list? So let's take a look at the Listrak Health Dashboard for a couple tips on how we can do that. All right, so to assess the health of your marketing list, you can log into your account on the master list or your general marketing list. Under the Analytics tab, you can click on the List Health Dashboard. And within Listrak, there are a number of different dashboards and analytics tables to help us assess, how the program or how your program is performing. And the List Health Dashboard, is a great way to take a look at how many contacts are on your master list and engage with this interactive dashboard to see different list imports, delta, days that you saw a spike in new acquisitions or unsubscribes, and it gives you, a starting point to then assess, what is working, what's not, and make some decisions based on that. So as you're looking in, in assessing the health of your marketing list, you want to look at both the subscription rate, how many contacts are being added to the list, how many contacts are unsubscribing, so that you can, optimize towards potentially 20% list growth year over year. If you can achieve a 20% list growth for your broadcast or your general master marketing list, you're doing exceptionally well. So to achieve a 20% list growth, you have to acquire more than 20% new contacts each year, because it's just extremely natural for around 15% of your addressable contacts on that marketing list to unsubscribe each year. There's a number of reasons why people unsubscribe, but as you're planning and creating, targets for how the list should grow, keep in mind that about 15% of your list will unsubscribe naturally each year. And to give you an example, this is an actual client where we pulled a 12-month period to take a look at how many contacts were on their list at the start of the year, how many contacts were on their list at the end of the year. And as you can see here, the numbers up top. After the first year, there were 1.8 million contacts on their master list. They had 287,000 people unsubscribe throughout the year, which was 15.8% of that total list. With that, their list still grew, pretty healthily, but understanding that you will see just a natural 15% unsubscribe rate over the course of the year.
Wow, that's awesome and really insightful. And the fact that we've been able to see that consistently across many, many retailers in different industries, it's just something good to know and a context to have, that to grow, you really have to grow extra, because there's just always going to be that natural churn.
Looking at this, a few takeaways. We talked about the 5, focal points on driving acquisition. But just to recap everything today, continue to invest in new and existing channels to drive new traffic to your website. There's ample opportunity to invest in some of these new emerging channels, but don't underestimate, the power of the old reliables, search, SEO, social, to drive new users to your website. And then when that traffic gets to your website, use a value prop to get people in, as many users as possible, to get them opted into your marketing program. Lean in on your brand voice, speak to the customers the way that you do in other channels, provide them with an incentive to subscribe, and give them ample opportunity to opt in. Continue to monitor your SEO, right? But know that the value of capturing the contacts information in that zero and first party manner is going to be vital, more so than ever before. So take advantage, of the opportunities that you have to acquire new users. As many people are going to be coming to your site, anonymous, not trackable, in that particular session, but when they provide their email address or mobile number and raise their hand and say, yes, I want you to send me messages, that's going to be vital to business growth. And then constantly optimize, test, learn. Keep your finger on the pulse of the health of your marketing list. by using different dashboards and analytics tools within the Listrak platform.
Thank you, Pat. And this was very enjoyable going through it with you. I hope everyone listening has learned some great takeaways to things to look into and start doing within their business. If anyone needs any help and you're a Listrak client, please reach out to your account management team and we can help you with these things. And if you are, a brand considering joining a cross-channel marketing tool like Listrak, reach out to our sales team and we'd love to show you some demos and help show how we can help you grow your business. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day.